Hey guys, how's it going? Anthony Muthurajah here, back with part 2 of ear training basics, and today we're going to take a look at rhythm. Alright, so I did a series on rhythm and time development, so a lot of the pointers I covered in there are pretty relevant to developing your ear for hearing rhythm. Alright, so I'm going to post the links to those videos in the description below. But for this lesson, I just want to give you 2 simple exercises which will help us perceive and hear subdivisions and phrases, rhythmic phrases better. Alright, so assuming you guys already know note values and duration, like whole notes, half notes and all that stuff, I have written out subdivisions starting from quarter notes, quarter note triplets, eighth notes, eighth note triplets and 16th notes. Obviously you can do 16 note triplets, quintuplets, septuplets, whatever you want, but I would suggest sticking with these 4 for now. Alright, so for every quarter note you have 2 eighth notes or 3 eighth note triplets or 4 16 notes. Now that's very basic stuff. I hope you have that covered. So assuming you have that covered, I'm going to move forward. Alright, so one simple exercise I like to do is to just sing quarter notes and clap the relevant rhythms. Alright, so I'm just going to go through this down and then go back up. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, now I would suggest you repeat this exercise as much as possible until you're fully comfortable, and eventually, maybe put it in context. Just play scales or play a groove and try to mess around with the subdivision if you want to. But to start off with, sing the quarter note and clap the rhythm or tap or whatever you want to do. Alright, now the second exercise is where we isolate certain notes in whichever subdivision. Okay, for example, if I take the quarter note subdivision, I want to isolate the third quarter note, so I'm only going to clap there. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this teaches you to be patient to hear a rhythm which doesn't have to start on the 1 or wherever else, which is conventional. So you are now training yourself to hear a quarter note that's happening much later. Alright, so let's look at the eighth notes. Now eighth notes, you have the upbeats, or the N. So let's say I want to isolate the 3 N. So 1, 2, 3 and 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Right? Now the 16ths, we can isolate the second 16th note or the E and the fourth 16th note, the Alright, so I'm going to do one cycle of E and then the next cycle will be So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Alright, so the 16 notes, keep doing that. Keep going back and forth between the E's and U's. Maybe switch halfway through the bar. And then what I start to do is, I'm just going to randomly, with the red marker, put out some accents. So I'm going to put an accent on the first, here, here. Okay, now this is not going to be the most musical rhythmic phrase, but the idea is to just write out random phrases so you're able to identify and sing these rhythms. Alright, so really slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 E and 2 E and, oh wait, 1 E and right? So that's the first bar. The second one is 2 E. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and No, the last one I messed up. So the last one is E and N. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and, right? So I totally put it at random, so I was not able to nail it at first. That doesn't matter. Take your time and sing the subdivisions, sing the 16-note subdivisions, and try clapping these random phrases that you can write. All right, now the next thing are the triplets. Now the triplets are a little tricky because they are odd phrased. All right. For example, in the space of 2 quarter notes, you have 3 quarter note triplets. So 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, we can obviously isolate the first triplet of the first group. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can isolate the first and second. So the first triplet of the first group and the first triplet of the second group. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's try to isolate the second triplet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The third one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, eighth note triplets. We can already do the downbeats, the first of each group. Now let's do the second triplet. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Third triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now very quickly, just one small minute detail you will find. Now if I take the second triplet and then the second 16th, all right, now they have a tendency to sound kind of the same, but you should be able to identify the difference. Okay, the triplet has a lot more behind the beat feel. It's a little more spaced out as opposed to the 16th, obviously, because you only have 3 notes and here you have 4. So one good exercise would be to isolate the second 16th or the E and the second triplet and cycle between them. So I'm going to do the second 16th and then the second triplet. So 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Same thing with the 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and 1 E, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. Alright, the triplet, like I said, has a lot more space to it compared to the 16th. So sometimes you might hear a phrase which would leave you a little confused because you hear it as a 16th and then somebody writes it out on a chart, or you find a chart online and it shows triplets and you'll be like, So what I like to do is I like to take certain phrases, certain melodies which are 16-note oriented or whatever, especially when it's heavily syncopated. I try to change the syncopation to triplets just to hear how it sounds, the difference, right? So yeah, that is it for this lesson. Just 2 simple exercises which will really help you develop a solid ear, and obviously spend a good amount of time on this before you try to venture into odd meters and odd groupings. And yeah, so I hope you got something out of this. Until then, I'll see you guys in the shed. Peace.